What's the saddest thing I learned when it was already too late? That's my brother, who I thought died in a fire when I was 6, was alive for 20 years, and I never knew. I was 26 when Aunt Ursula called me at 2 a.m., sobbing. "Patrick's gone," she kept repeating. I almost hung up. My brother Patrick died in a house fire when I was a kid. I wasn't home that night. He was. I spent 20 years drowning in survivor's guilt, but Ursula insisted Patrick had just taken his own life. I drove to her house, shaking. She was waiting on the porch with a cardboard box. Inside, letters, photographs. The first photo stole the air from my lungs. A boy, half his face melted, hand twisted, scars everywhere. But the eyes, they were Patrick's eyes. Photo after photo. Patrick was outside my middle school after a choir concert. Patrick was 3 rows behind my family at my high school graduation. Patrick is in the background of my prom photos, wearing a hoodie in 90-degree weather. Then, the one that broke me. Patrick at 22 in a coffee shop uniform. My coffee shop. The scarred barista who drew smiley faces on my cup for 2 years. Who knew my order by heart. I never looked closely because I was uncomfortable with his scars. That was my brother. For 2 years, I drank coffee from the hands of my dead brother. The letter started when he was 12. "You're not ready to see me yet. The doctor said my face might scare kids." At 16, "I saw you win the science fair. You look just like mom. I wanted to tell you." At 20, "Mom says you know I exist. Maybe when you graduate, you'll be ready. Doctors aren't scared of scars, right?" The last one, dated a week ago. "I've waited 15 years, Tori. I sent a friend request. You blocked me. I understand. The fire wasn't your fault. At least one of us got to have a normal life." Ursula whispered. "He'd lived in her basement for 15 years, 30 minutes from my apartment. My parents paid her rent, his food, his silence. A closed casket funeral filled with sandbags. They told him I knew he was alive, but couldn't bear to see his face. Every time I visited Ursula, they'd hide him. In motels. They texted him warnings when I was nearby. 2 decades of lies, of choreography, to keep us apart. I confronted my parents, shaking with rage. They said the surgeries would have cost $300,000. Insurance wouldn't cover cosmetic reconstruction. They said I was too young, too fragile. It would be kinder if I believed he died. Kinder. I spent my whole life in therapy for survivor's guilt, writing letters to a brother I thought was dead. I failed English class because I couldn't read books about siblings, while he spent 20 years watching me from coffee shops and parking lots, thinking I hated the sight of him. The coroner told me his last words were written on a mirror. "I hope you're happy. I love you." And that's how I learned the saddest truth of my life, when it was already too late.